Hello, BookTube. I thought I would do something fun today because Paul at the Accidental Bookseller is creating this new community project called My Childhood Books Project, where it's pretty much talk about your childhood books growing up. And I thought I'm gonna do that because that's such a fun idea. And also, this just so happened to coincide because in the month of March, me and my bestie, my best friend, we decided we're gonna read all of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books, right? We done one a day, which drained us spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And in 20 days, we read all of the Wimpy Kid books. And because I grew up with them too, but I haven't read them since I literally was a child. So I thought it'd be fun to go back at the age of 22 and see what on earth did I read. And I was confused, saddened, and just really let down because I thought these books were so much better than I remembered, and they really hurt looking back now because they're not that good. But I thought to do something a bit more fun, I thought I would just rank them for you because why not? All 20 books. Yes, they are 20 of them, and they're still going because we're gonna get Fight or Flight in October, I think, which will be the 21st book. And so, yeah, so I'm going to keep up now because I may as well. But let's start this tier ranking. So, we got F, D, C, B, A, and S. So I don't have any cool names, but let's start with F tier for me. Now, my least two favorite Wimpy Kid books are the two most recent, Partypooper and Hot Mess. And we'll see as we keep going to talk about more about these books that they get so repetitive. I'm like, Jeff, where's the new ideas? A lot of recycling in these books. Greg just does nothing in this booklet, in these two books. And the one thing I will say as we keep on going with the Wimpy Kid books is that once you hit a certain point in this series, all the cool friends, even Rowley, just completely disappears. And it's literally just focusing on Greg and his family, which isn't that exciting. And these two books, Hot Mess and Partypooper, for me, are the two biggest examples in the series so far of the real rot kicking in. Because again, we're 20 books in with no signs of slowing down. But yeah, so those are my least two favorites. We're up to D now, and for D, I have Hard Luck, Double Down, The Meltdown, Big Shot, and No Brainer. So all of them, again, same thing of just the serious rock kicking in by this point. You will find a lot of these books tend to be really repetitive. Like Big Shot's Greg doing sports. That's really it. No Brainers, not that exciting. It's another travel book. The Meltdowns, Cabin Fever, but we have Cabin Fever at home. Double Downs, I can't even remember what Double Down and Hard Luck are literally about. And I remember really liking Hard Luck as a kid, so that hurt me, the fact that it's so low now. So yeah, sorry, I'm not going to really talk about the plots of these because I can't remember them, and it's literally been over a month, so I know I'm not helping with that, but this is just if you want to see my ranking of Wimpy Kid books, and if you want me to go into my thoughts about these books in particular, let me know in the comments and I'll tell you more about it. So that's D, Hard Luck, Double Down, The Meltdown, Big Shot, and No Brain. Again, these are just repetitive. Jeff's done these themes before, these types of stories, and yeah. Then C, so this is now the mid tier. So F and D were like ill. C is like tolerable, I feel like. And this is, again, so C, we have three books here. We have The Ugly Truth, we have The Getaway, and then Deep End, right? And these are just recycled because The Ugly Truth, it's nothing happens. It's one of those books where I'm like, wow, I finished it as in like in Kindle on my e-reader, and I was like, wow, that sure was a book, and literally moved on to another one. About The Getaway, I feel like no one really talks about The Getaway, or like it's just not loved at all. Like it's literally The Long Haul. Like we have The Long Haul at home. Same as Deep End. We have The Getaway at home. Like he's just repeating the same family vacations over and over, and it gets so repetitive to a point because I have nothing to say. We'll get to these as we keep on going. So B tier now. For me, we have four books in B tier. We have The Last Straw, The Third Wheel, Old School, and Wrecking Ball. Now, some of these have some great premises, like some really cool ideas. The Last Straw, I can't remember to be honest, but I remember it being pretty solid. Third wheel was Greg and like love triangles pretty much, which was a cool idea. But again, there's no plot to that book. It's literally the idea, bam, and that's the book. There's no plot really. Old school, again, really interesting premise of Greg not having any technology being taken away, so he has to use a lot of vintage technology, which is pretty cool, and I thought that was a cool idea, but I feel like it really does nothing much with it. And then Wrecking Ball is I think a really cool idea in terms of, like, the family home getting renovated, like a renovation book. I think that's really cool, but it just gets so over the top at some points, because you get to a certain point, and we'll talk about this book in the next tier, in A tier, but once you hit book 10, the series starts to really become overblown, and it stops focusing on Greg being, an everyday kid in was it elementary, or I don't know what school he's like, what level he's at, because I'm not American, and it just loses the everydayness of it once you get past book 10, and that's my biggest complaint, is that the characters, it really just takes a hit. But Wrecking Ball had some great ideas, and I will say I'm so sick of the pig by this point. When you get to Wrecking Ball, the pig, oh my god, we'll get to that. But let's go to A tier now. And so for A tier, I have 3 books here. We have the debut, Diaper Wimpy Kid. We have The Long Haul. And then we have a more recent one, Diaper Overload. And so let's talk about these. What do we say about the Wimpy Kid debut? It's iconic, so many memorable moments, and also a lot of things that you kind of forget about, because you always think of the OG trilogy, which is so iconic and better than any of these books combined. And it's interesting to see what was cut out and what was put in, and it's just really interesting. What do we say about the debut? It's iconic. The Long Haul. This is the book where the series jumped the shark for me. This is 10 books in. This is the first vacation book. This introduces arguably the worst part of these books, is the pig. The pig doesn't even have a name. Manny gets a pig, and it becomes the family pet. And it's like a comic relief, but also I don't know why Jeff chose a pig, because it's so dumb, and the pig is just so no personality. Because I feel like Jeff was like, okay, we've already had, I think he had the dog Sweetie. I don't know if that's just a movie thing or not, but we've already done a dog. That's too lame. What can I do to really make this exciting and different? I'm gonna put in a family pig that can talk and just literally becomes a main character. And not even just the main character, a literal human, but pig. Like, he has his own room, and it's so dumb. And Jeff, I feel like to a certain point, a couple books after The Long Haul, he was like, what do I do with a pig? Like, literally, what can I do? So the pig literally just randomly disappears in the series, and I kind of really love that. But The Long Haul could be an S tier book for me, but the pig just ruins it. It's like so lame comic relief. And that's what I have to say about The Long Haul. It is truly the last original, like, classic Wimpy Kid book, in my opinion. And 10 books was a good run. I feel like if the series ended at A Long Haul or whatever, it would have been a lot more tolerable than another 10 books on top. But then the last book we have in A tier, right, is Diaper Overload. This is, I think, book 17, maybe. I don't know at this point. But this is a book focused on Rodrick, because this literally has barely any Greg in it, to be honest, and you get a lot big return characters, like all the Rodrick's friends in Loaded Diaper, which were cool, bit of a callback, which I completely forgot about. Really solid. I don't know what to say, really. This is probably the Wimpy Kid book that has the least Greg in it, and Rodrick just eats. I love Rodrick. Everyone loves Rodrick. He's iconic, and so the fact he kind of gets his own book, I thought was really cool. I don't know if I trust Jeff to do another just more Rodrick leaning book, but who knows. And I would also really like to see one more of the parents too. Like, the parents, I think, are really cool and interesting. Like, the lamest person in the family is Greg. For me, he just does nothing for me. Rodrick and the family make these books, and even then, I feel like they just become like lesser as the books go on. Like, the spark is gone. But yeah, look at me having a more recent Wimpy Kid book in A tier. That's pretty cool. And so let's move on to S tier now. The big three, the main three that are perfect Wimpy Kid books in my opinion. And that is Cabin Fever, Dog Days, and number one is Rodrick Rules. Like, what do you want me to say about these books? They're so iconic. You know these books inside and out. I don't need to explain them to you. Really funny jokes, really solid characters. The pacing is really good. I love the jokes. They're perfect. It's just it's a solid Wimpy Kid book. What you expect Wimpy Kid to be, and those are my favorite three. And so yeah, what would I like to see Jeff Kenny do next? Because we are about to be 21 books into this series. I think it's time we age up Greg. Get him out of, I don't even know what he would be in, but put him into high school. I don't know where he's in, but put him in high school and just age everyone up. I feel like it's time, or even just end it, to be honest. But you know, why end something when it's so big? So I think Jeff should just age him up, and we'll see what happens there. And who knows, maybe bring back another pet. Bring back the pig, because the pig literally just randomly disappeared and no one talks about it. And, you know, I thought that was really funny. And so, yeah, that is a quick, unhinged, unscripted, really basic ranking of me talking about all the Wimpy Kid books for my childhood books project. Let me know what you think of the Wimpy Kid books. What do you think of my rating? Have you read all of them? And yeah, thank you so much for watching BookTube, and I will see you next time.